this movie had such for me, a great throwback, like 1980s kind of John Cusack feel to it. Was that something that was always discussed in the beginning, or?
I don't think specifically.
I don't think so. Yeah. No.
Cool, because it comes off like that. Did you guys at the finished project? Do you see that too, or?
Yeah, the little like kind of say anything.
Yeah.
Feeling. Yeah. I see it now that you said it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get
it just brought me back, maybe because I'm older too.
I mean, I think that there is such a, I mean, that's also nice to hear, because I think that all of those kind of like original, which would be like quote YA kind of movies,
John Hughes.
Yeah.
They were so special because they were kind of like the first of its kind. So that's cool to hear, because I think that we were, definitely trying to, I know Mitchell was definitely trying to make kind of like a YA film that felt a little different and maybe did kind of feel a little nostalgic.
And speaking of which, music is such a big part. Were the songs already ready to go? Like, especially your brother's song in the movie?
No, I think that those are all, I think there's 4 original songs in the film, which is cool, because I don't think that we were even aware of that, there were that many original songs. And I don't think I've even fully, if I'm honest, I don't think I've even fully heard like my brother's singing voice yet.
Oh, no kidding.
What I've seen is still just temp. So I'll with kind of everyone, I think I'll be like seeing it for the first time too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds.
You read.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
You read scripts that, to give a sense of the feeling of the scene, they put in a song, but you never know if you're actually going to get the song, because, some songs are incredibly expensive or not available or whatever. So it's, I've only heard temp as well. I'm just excited to see what we really finally got and how it feels and how
it works, because it's, for me, when the first time I was watching through the credits, because I just wanted to see the songs. I also wanted to see Madeline if you sang, because I'm like, I think she's singing in this.
I don't even know if they use do I sing in it?
Yeah. You're given credit. And then of course I did some research. I'm like, oh, your background's musical theater, correct?
Yeah.
How was that, like, kind of going back into your wheelhouse?
I was like scared to death, honestly. That was like my hardest day, I think, on set, was doing the scene where Wendy's on stage when Marcus first sees Wendy. Because that's not what I'm used to. I'm used to performing like as a character and in a very specific kind of singing. And I was trained through my whole life, but Wendy just sings from the heart, like really just sings with whatever gift she has and rolls with it. And I'm so not used to that. I'm like, where's the sitting and what are we doing? I've got to warm up. And it's just like, it's so much more easy and so much more honestly cool. Like Wendy is so much cooler than I am. So it was nerve wracking, but it was definitely, it had to take me out of my comfort zone a lot, which I liked.
Are any future projects where you get to sing, or?
I don't think so. I sing sometimes in The Handmaid's Tale, to my many children that I've given birth to. But no, I want to go back to when, God willing, Broadway opens back up. I want to go back to New York, and I want to try that again.
The Lego figure that's tied to the tea bag so it doesn't get lonely.
Yeah.
Was that always in the script?
Yeah, and I actually want to ask you, what do I say there? Like, I think I say there also is a Lego figurine in it. So basically, I love Legos, but I do have just a little bit of beef, because I had to do ADR, because supposedly you can't just say there's a Lego in it. You have to say it's a Lego figurine.
Oh, really?
Oh.
So I don't know if I end up saying that. I was like, so
I don't think you said figurine.
Oh, did we get it? Well, that would make me so happy. I was like, listen, Marcus would never say figurine. He just would never say it. Like, come on, just
scrap the whole thing.
Right? It was
like, no one would understand. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. It was such a unique joke. I don't know. I thought it was like something from one of your guys, like personal thing or something. But it was always.
I don't know if that's something weird from Mitchell.
100% Mitchell Winky, and
Yeah.
it's a shame that he is not here because you would understand immediately.
Why that is the way it is.
Very cool. Keean, have you had any experience with sign language before this, or?
Weirdly, I did. Like, I think the second job I ever had, I did an episode on that show Switched at Birth, which is all about sign language. So I auditioned. They're like, you don't have to do any sign language, and I was like, oh, that's great. And then I was about to shoot, and they're like, oh, we're actually going to have you do all of your lines in sign language. So I then had to like meet with this guy, and he ended up helping me a lot. And it's truly fascinating because they, when you see someone who's either deaf or fluent in sign language, they have such an expressive language, including your face. And I remember them talking about the face being as important as the motions you're doing with your hands. So it was really fun to have that little learning experience then when I was like 16 or 17, and really fun to revisit it again.
When did you guys film this?
Last November.
November.
November 2019.
Yeah.
I don't know why I noticed the camping scene or the campfire scene after the pool seemed legitimately freezing to me. I don't know why. Was it really cold for you guys?
We were also wet. Like my hair was wet, your hair was wet, and it was like November in upstate New York.
Wow. Yeah.
Whose idea was that?
Yeah, it was just like we kind of set all of our wardrobe, which was spring, and then like 2 days in, it started snowing, and we're like, all right. How are we going to incorporate a jacket into this movie?
Yeah.
No, it was freezing. Even when we were in the pool, that was not. They didn't heat the pool because if they heated the pool, then steam would have gone everywhere, which I think that was the mistake at the beginning. So then they stopped heating it, and then we really had to run outside and
into the snow.
Yeah, and then
onto the ice.
Lay down on the ice, and poor Bennett is just like, "All right, I'm so sorry. We just have to do one more." So bad. Like, yeah, it's fine, bro. It is what it is.
Man, where was the the roller skating rink and the bowling alley? Where were those? Were those upstate New York?
That's all at American Pie, their production studio. So all the
roller rink was.
Right?
They built the roller rink inside of because American High is at an old an old school, like an actual school, and they bought the school. So they built the roller rink inside of one of the gymnasiums. And then did they buy the bowling alley? But that was actually a bowling alley.
It was.
Yeah. The bowling alley was being sold. So I think that we were just like shooting that quickly before they were like selling off the
Really?
Yeah. Guerrilla.